possible No Man's Sky release dates, and more here on Cobra TV. First off, I know there are a lot of rumors all over the net about the release date of No Man's Sky, and this video is in no way stating that this is fact. This is only my opinion. And, just looking at some of the facts of, you always learn from the past. So when No Man's Sky first appeared, it was at the VGX on December 7th, 2013. It was pretty quiet until 6 months later when E3 came upon us. And that was on June 10th of 2014, with more No Man's Sky exposure. Then just 5 months later, we had the VGAs and the PSX on December 5th through 7th. Yet again, more No Man's Sky. What have we learned from this? We learned that not only is there like a little pattern every 5 or 6 months, but Hello Games seems to hit every major games convention to talk about their game. Now, the last major thing Hello Games said is that they were going to be quiet for next year, going into next year, and that they hope that the next time that we see them, the game will be released. Now, if we look what lies ahead, now I really think that Sean Murray forgot to mention, or he was forgetting to think that he was going to be a speaker at the DICE Summit, which is, you know more about it than I do. What is the DICE Summit exactly?
It's basically where you show off hardware and software that you're creating. So stuff like, I think they're going to be talking about procedural generation, because they're a big part in that, but also things like the virtual reality things that people are making.
Yeah,
just stuff like that.
The whole theme is called Without Borders, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so the DICE Summit and that's next month in February. So we are going to be seeing Sean speaking at the DICE Summit, but I don't think he took that into consideration when he was saying, hopefully the next time you see us, the game will be out. But if we look at the next major, I mean, we have the Gamescom.
I think, yeah, May 9th.
They did attend the Gamescom last year, but isn't that some like a really closed behind the doors kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Even though they were at the last Gamescom, the only thing I've seen that came out of that really was a interview with Holly from PlayStation. But other than that, I mean, the next really big exposure for games convention is E3 in next June of 2015, June 16th through 18th. E3 leaves us with yet another 5 months. So there's two things that are going to happen, in my opinion. They're going to show up at E3 to show off No Man's Sky, but that would totally contradict what they said about hopefully the game will be out the next time you see us. So I really think they have a plan. It's set in stone to have the game released before E3. It makes sense. It is possible for a May release just based on thinking that way, period.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put my guess in there that we're going to get No Man's Sky released this year, May or June, or sometime before that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty set in stone.
Right. I just think that, if instead of saying that hopefully the next time you see us, the game will be out, they should, they might have well just said, hey guys, we'll see you at E3. We'll have a lot more for you.
Yeah.
So, safe to say it's going to be out before May or June or around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so also, I know that a lot of you don't really care, but somebody like me, I'm sentimental, so I'm getting to the point where I don't care if my games are digital or physical, whether I have a disc or not. But when it comes to No Man's Sky, I really want to have a physical copy of it because I feel it's a big turning point in the gaming industry. What I want is to have that little piece of history. So to hang on the wall or to hold on my hands, just so that way I can feel like I really own this pinnacle turning point in gaming history. and I reached out to Sony customer service. I know it's a long shot, you know, but I thought, you know, I gotta talk to somebody, I gotta find out. And I contacted them via chat, and I asked them 2 questions. So I asked them if we were going to ever be able to pre-order No Man's Sky at some point, and if we were going to get a physical copy, a CD. Well, he answered no. Well, he didn't say no. He said pre-ordering pretty much is up to the developer, but it seems to him that it's going to be, in this case, released on disc as well. So I want to say that's a confirmation. He did say that he was going to get back to me, and when he did get back to me, he had a solid answer. So I would imagine that he could look up into his computer to see if there is some sort of production date set to start, you know, making the discs and the boxes for No Man's Sky. Also, we were able to find another view of a different cockpit, and I believe this is a cockpit view of a trader ship. The only downfall to this is, well, it looks really cool, but if you look down there on the dashboard, or whatever you want to call it, the readouts, displays, or whatever, it looks exactly the same as every other ship we've seen, but the windows, I think, kind of make up for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I really think, well, yeah, you can obviously tell that the dashboard, or whatever you want to call it, is the same in that picture. I'm not sure how old that was. I'm not sure if they were still like developing that cockpit and that's why they were inside of it in the first place. So it very well might be different in the finished product.
Right, they could have just made it the same as we've always seen it, to kind of like hide the fact that it is different.
Yeah.
You know, so that way we don't get to see too much of what is in No Man's Sky, and we're not expecting, oh look, we get a green cockpit with weird display readouts and stuff like that. So, you know, he wants us to experience everything for the first time, kind of thing. But
exactly.
Regardless, this new footage, this footage right here, this other cockpit, is really awesome, I think.
Yeah, that was a good find.
I also have a picture up on the screen of what I think is a red star, and the reason why I think it's a red star is because you can see the slight swirling motion, almost like it's if it is a sun. It doesn't look like a planet to me at all. So I really think that what we're seeing right here is actually a red star. What do you think? What did you think of that picture when I showed, or that video clip when I showed it to you?
Oh, that was amazing. I watched it and I just kind of looked at it, and I paused it at the, like, where it actually got up close to the star, and I was just amazed. I didn't really know. I mean, you can tell that it is a star because it's got those black blotches on it, like
sunspots.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's got the sunspots on it.
It's just amazing. I mean, when I saw that, my jaw dropped. I'm like, what? That's got to be a red star. It has to be.
It's a big old red star.
Yeah,
for sure.
I wonder how big it is in relation to like planets around it. If it's smaller, if it's bigger.
Yeah, and I wonder if the color of the star would change would affect the color of the planet's atmosphere.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's really hard to tell if it's a red dwarf or a red giant. But yeah, I wonder what it looks like on the planets near something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of good information, you know, well, I'd say really good way of thinking about the release date, and we had a nice view of a different ship's cockpit, which I think is a trader, and a good view of a red star. So go back and watch the parts again with the sun and the cockpit, and just marvel at it the way that I did. And you guys are really, really awesome. Thank you for coming and watching this video. I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. I had an awesome time talking to all of you. It was just wonderful. Until next time.